poll of the room. What's the most pain your mouth has ever been in? Now, if you said never, then congratulations, okay? You either floss exceptionally well or have great genetics. As many of the rest of us know, even the best dental care imaginable can't prevent that sudden, sharp bam of a toothache that seems to come completely out of nowhere. It's kind of like that old saying, the only things in life that are certain are death and taxes. I'd like to submit random up toothaches to that list. And before I get a string of comments below from Ms. Actually My Teeth Are Perfect, didn't nobody ask you, okay? So you could take your damn Colgate smile and your carefree grin and let us have our enamel trauma, okay? Now, according to the CDC, more than 40% of adults report having felt pain in their mouth within the last year, and more than 80% of people will have had at least one cavity by age 34. That's just in the US. The World Health Organization just this year has stated that oral diseases affect nearly 3.5 billion people. 3.5 billion reported toothaches. That's more hurting teeth than that creepy tooth monster from the Channel Zero. Isn't that horrifying? Like, what the hell is that? Who imagined this? Sorry. Anyways, there are 8 billion or so people on this rock, so that's almost half of the global population. But number one, those are just reported numbers. Okay, like show of hands, how many of y'all got a stubborn family member who keeps grabbing their jaw and you're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And they're just like, never better. You know what I mean? Many of those 3.5 billion having pain in the mouth are actually kids too, which leads me to the overall reason why Swoop, who is not a dentist, asked you about mouth pain. One of the biggest anxieties a parent faces in this world is being unable to help their child when they are in pain. With most mouth pain, it boils down to a cavity or some kind of genetic gum disease. In rare cases, it could be something a lot worse, which leads us to our main character today. But first, hi, hello, guten tag, ni hao, wie tom, and welcome to the Suspool, a place where everything and everyone is sus, maybe even us. Come on in, the water's fine. So this is where, instead of extensive deep dives like we do on my main channel, Swoop, together here we take a dip into some creepy, bizarre, mind-bending stories. So if you want to get weird, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on all notifications. Okay, Suspirians, we're gonna dip into the dark waters, but real quick, I have to know something. What does your room smell like? How about your car? Wouldn't you love for it to smell incredible all of the time? Well, now you can with Drift. So a huge thank you to Drift for being an incredible partner of this channel. One thing that has always really helped me reduce stress and makes me feel calm is making my surroundings smell good. I like to light candles when I'm working, and I place these gorgeous air care products from Drift all around, which are designed to look beautiful in your space while making everything smell like decadence, okay? Who is she? We love her. Drift keeps your home, your bathrooms, your closet, and your car smelling incredible using natural, essential, and fragrance oils, pure ingredients, and sustainable materials to create your ultimate air freshener. Their ingredients are completely free of harmful chemicals, though it's still good to keep them out of the reach of your pets. And on top of that, they are beautiful, they're aesthetic. I love that for us. My car, my closets, listen, okay? Between all of the filming gear that I toss in my car on a regular basis and the laundry in my closet, they smelled. But ever since using Drift, everyone who steps in my car or my home or my bathroom immediately asks me how it smells so freaking good. For me, Drift is like a slice of self-care luxury without the hefty price, making it so much more accessible for anyone on a budget. And the best part, you can get Drift as a subscription. First, you receive a starter kit with the clip and the scent, and then you can get the monthly refills to switch them out every 30 days to keep your space smelling its best. They also have a scent of the month, which features a new limited edition scent, which are inspired by the seasons and memories. Like this month, I got the scent Bungalow, which has this gorgeous coconut, palm leaves, and tonka bean scent. The subscription is super flexible. You can change your scent choice, your delivery frequency, or cancel at any time. And it's that variety each month that really helps keep things fresh and inspiring. So if you're ready to fill your car and your home with the most amazing and affordable, accessible scents, scan the QR code on the screen or tap my link below and make sure to use my coupon code SWOOP255, that's TOO55, for 55% off at Drift. It's less than $5 for your first month, and treat yourself, honey, you deserve it. Okay, let's dive in to the cesspool. All right, today I want to advise you to be really careful opening your mouth when diving into the cesspool because there may or may not be something gross in the water. Let me introduce you to a young boy. Now, his name is cited a couple of different ways, Ravindranath in some sources and Ravindran in others, so we're gonna call him Ravi for short. So Ravi was born around 2011 or 2012 and by all accounts was a precocious young lad, happy, playful, living a fairly comfortable life as the son of a sales executive for a private firm. But around 2015, when he was only 3 years old, Ravi's parents noticed something unusual. His right cheek was starting to jut out just a little more slightly than it should have in the form of a lump. Now, Ravi's parents were, of course, worried, but stayed as calm as they could. Obviously, every single thought a parent could have went through their head. Did he accidentally bump his cheek on a door? Is this just how his face is growing? Oh my gosh, could it be cancer? Don't overreact. Maybe his teeth are coming in early. Little did his parents know they were right about one of those things, kind of, but they wouldn't find this out in 2015. When his parents took him to the doctor, Ravi absolutely refused to sit still, like fidgeting, crying, and just not letting the doctors anywhere near his mouth. Okay, same, Ravi, I get it, trust me. Some x-rays were performed, but nothing too unusual was spotted by the doctors at this time, so Ravi was cleared to leave, and his parents were told to simply keep an eye on that lump on his jaw, which is exactly what they proceeded to do, hoping that it would just kind of go away over time, which leads us to the year 2019. Ravi is now 7 years old, still, just as adorable and playful as he was a few years ago, but over time something has changed with him. The once bubbly and happy little dude is now easily agitated. He's always talking about how he's in pain, and the pain's getting worse every day. And worst of all, that lump was now as big as a golf ball. Like, it's not entirely clear if his parents had taken him for a checkup again before this, or if they had, for whatever reason, waited for 4 years to deal with this growing problem. Now, in their defense, though, it's a scary thought. Your 3-year-old gets a huge lump on his jaw, the doctors clear him, but that lump never goes away. And it's like suddenly your irrational parent brain that told you it could be mouth cancer doesn't seem so irrational anymore. His parents even admitted to the doctors that was quite literally their worst fear for Ravi. So when they finally got to Savita Dental College that year, the physicians on site were definitely a little concerned over what they were seeing. So they put Ravi through a number of x-rays and CT scans to try and figure out once and for all what the hell was going on. And then the x-rays came back. Aside from the misaligned teeth, 3/4 of his x-rayed jaw appeared to be fine. Which, sidebar, isn't this wild? Look at this imaging. This is what developing teeth look like. All just kind of hanging out there, waiting their turn to I don't know, push the other baby teeth out. It's kind of bitch, time is up. The rent ain't paid. Y'all gotta move out. A new landlord has entered the chat. It's just wild to me. Anyways, but right there, you see right there, right where his jaw was swollen, there was a very strange area completely lacking any definable shapes. A swirl of multiple gray splotches that kind of looks like some random space galaxy photo of stardust where 2 molars should be. Whatever was here had actually prevented Ravi from growing molars altogether. That's creepy. Now, right away, Professor P. Senthil Nathan knew there was a huge problem, and it very likely wasn't mouth cancer. In fact, they weren't immediately sure what it was. They had an idea of what it could be, but they needed to get it out ASAP to make sure it was exactly what they thought it was. So he pulled Ravi's parents aside and told them basically, we need to do surgery now because something is very wrong with your boy's mouth. Now, according to the Times of India, it didn't take very long to convince his parents to let him go under. This had been going on for so long. And now Ravi was in excruciating pain, and there was something kind of dark and mysterious causing the pain. It was kind of a no-brainer for his parents, right? But unfortunately, Ravi, poor thing, didn't agree. It took them several hours of talking to Ravi, explaining why surgery was necessary and reassuring him that everything was going to be okay. I mean, can you blame him? He's waiting in the bizarre, twisted waters of the Suspool. I'd be fighting against it too. But eventually Ravi was convinced that he'd be okay. He was in good hands, and they finally put him under. Now, when CNN spoke with Dr. Senthil Nathan, he stated that operating on Ravi was tricky, but beneficial because they were able to drill into his jaw from the top, which I'm trying to picture that. I can't even, my brain is bent, okay? I cannot imagine that. But what this means is there was no requirement to break his bones from the sides to reach it, which, quote, meant reconstruction surgery was not required. Thank God, okay? I remember, just a sidebar, I remember going in for a consult about my teeth issues. I've had like a whole bunch my whole life. And one doctor told me that they wanted to break my jaw to fix things and then wire it shut for like 6 months. I was like, hell no. Okay, you ain't breaking nothing but bread in this mouth, okay? I like a carb, that's what I'll do. I will eat it, but you ain't, no. So back to Ravi. Once they got through the initial tissue, they found just below the surface a very large sac that the doctor described as a kind of balloon. Now, the Atlantic goes further with the totally non-nauseating language, calling it, quote, like a fleshy, overstuffed coin purse. Not a flesh coin purse. Like, what is this, Hannibal Lecter? Y'all doing too much. Now, this sack weighed 200 grams or 7 ounces, nearly half a pound, and it was just sitting right beneath the surface on this young boy's jaw. Now, Senthil Nathan and his team carefully went in, cut the growth from Ravi's jaw, and took the entire thing out, okay? They just snatched that coin purse loose and the change and all of that, took it right out of the mouth. Now, immediately the team radiographed the structure from Ravi's mouth and were able to see the gray space matter a little more clearly, revealing what they later described as, quote, multiple tiny radiopaque structures. Now, oral pathologists took a closer look though, because the shapes looked really, really familiar. A pathologist said it was reminiscent of pearls in an oyster. But the truth is, it wasn't pearls in an oyster or a random flesh coin purse. Inside of this sack in Ravi's mouth was actually, are y'all ready for this? Hundreds of tiny little teeth. I shit you not, that coin purse wasn't coining, it was filled with hundreds of tiny ass little teeth. In fact, what was going on in Ravi's mouth, that little sack, consisted of 526 tiny extra teeth, varying in sizes from 1 millimeter to 15 millimeters. And somebody tell me why the hell those doctors had to lay them out in some kind of class science project. Oh my gosh, what's with the spiral? Why are we doing this? Fibonacci, like, just no, sign me out, okay? Now, to put in perspective what 526 tiny teeth from 1 to 15 millimeters in the mouth is like, a quick little Google will reveal that the average adult tooth's length is 9 to 10 millimeters. That means this little dude had over 500 teeth in one sack in his mouth, many of which were bigger than adult teeth, all of which had a crown covered by enamel and a root-ish structure. According to the pathologist, quote, it took 5 hours of meticulous searching to remove all the minute teeth from the opened bag-like specimen. I'm just saying it right now, I would have quit, full stop, okay? If I, listen, so like, if the average person has like 28 to 32 teeth, like the 32 if you still have your wisdom teeth. So 500, this is gonna be weird, but 526 teeth is 16 and a half swoops. That would be like 16 and a half swoops living rent-free in your head. And then all those hoes bringing a suitcase and trying to bed and breakfast inside your mouth. I'm sorry, that was gross. Like if I was a doctor in that operating room, okay, I would have taken off my scrubs, tied up my gloves, put down the spectacles, and been like, y'all on your own, okay? I'm out. Now, after surgery, the biggest concern was making sure Ravi was okay. So they managed to stitch him back up so that he could recover. The New Indian Express reported that Ravi's other teeth were all said to be okay, but unfortunately, Ravi's molars were probably never going to grow. So he would need to wait 9 years when he turned 16 to get molar implants. But otherwise, he was going to be okay. And when he was discharged, the press even asked him how he felt. The Times reported that Ravi climbed onto his dad's shoulders, smiled at the press, pointed to his jaw, and said, quote, "No pain." And best of all, because of the novelty of his case, his parents were charged exactly $0.00 for the surgery. We love that for them. Okay, so now that we know that Ravi is okay, Ravi, go ahead and cover your ears, okay? Just don't listen to this part, Ravi. What the f***? Like, what the f***? What? Who? How? Why? But also, what the fuck? I am stoked that little dude is gonna be okay, but the idea that there could suddenly be 526 teeth inside of your head, what? How did it happen? The answer, according to CNN, is an extremely rare condition known as compound composite odontoma. This is fancy doctor speak for what the Journal of Oral and Maxillofacial Pathology states is a benign mouth tumor suddenly developing more teeth than your mouth needs. That's some freaky shit. The hospital claimed at the time this was the first time something like this had ever happened, which is how a lot of other reporting about this at the time had framed it. Nope, sorry guys. According to The Guardian, this is at least the second time this has happened. They claim that back in 2014, doctors in Mumbai found 232 teeth in the mouth of a 17-year-old boy. Meaning this isn't just some freak one-off incident, there is precedent for this, y'all. Yeah. So how did this happen and how the heck can we avoid this, Swoop? Tell me, please. Well, the truth is, nobody actually knows for sure. The medical team at the time positioned two theories. One was simple genetics. There was no known history of any similar afflictions in Ravi's family, but the team couldn't completely discount it. But there is one pet theory that the college's head of maxillofacial pathology told the Times of India that he thinks could be the reason. Now, I want to preface this by saying that I don't exactly agree with this person, but he said it, and if you want the tea, you've got it. So, quote, "We cannot rule out environmental factors such as radiation from mobile towers, aka cell towers, aka, welcome everyone, conspiracy theories have now joined us in the Suspool." Now, to be fair to this guy, he actually also claimed that, quote, "A Savitha Dental College study of people living by cell phone towers revealed that more than 10% had micronuclei changes to their cells, which can cause uncontrolled multiplication of cells and diseases." Holy this just got so much creepier, my gosh. So like, there are some huge ass towers in the city where I live, and yes, I am that bitch who has the EMF reader when I go to tour a new apartment, and I refuse to live right next to those towers. I'm not even joking, I have the reader. I'm like, I'm scanning stuff, yeah, whatever. But I haven't really found much conclusive research about EMFs and the towers and all that kind of stuff until getting into this story, and ew. Like, what do y'all think? Do you think that cell phone towers are causing diseases? Do you think that cell phone towers made 526 teeth develop in Ravi's mouth? Because if that's true, then we're all screwed. Like, you honestly cannot get away from it anymore. It is just that they're everywhere, right? But I had no idea a story about 526 teeth was going to turn into the potential perils of cell phone towers, but I am not going to discount that study because it is certainly alarming. I will also point out that the good old American Cancer Society has also said, quote, "At this time, there's no strong evidence that exposure to RF waves from cell phone towers causes any noticeable health effects." So the best I can chalk this up to at this time is fuck I know. Is this some cruel joke happening somewhere on another dimension where someone thought it would be super fun to do things like put 526 teeth in someone's head? Or to put a tailbone on a human where we don't have tails? Or to make whatever the platypuses? Those things creep me the hell out, okay? Whoa, what is that? The point is, sometimes things just happen, and those things can be scary, but thankfully the doctors were quick and managed to pull this cosmic practical joke on Ravi out of his mouth as painlessly as possible. And sometimes that's all we can ask for here in the cesspool. Okay, friends, grab a towel, dry off, brush your teeth. I have a brand new full deep dive documentary out on my main channel, Swoop. It's linked below. Make sure you watch it. You will love it. Also, make sure to keep it weird. Subscribe to this new channel right here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single spooky Swoop story. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's where you can catch me daily with life things. Also, be sure to grab your very own pieces from the Valid Ribcage and Valid Social Club collection in the Petty University shop that is linked below as always. I just know you're gonna love these pieces. I get so excited when I get messages from you and photos from you. Thank you, Drift, for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. Be sure to check out my link below and use my coupon code SWOOP255 off at Drift. It's less than $5 for your first month, and treat yourself, honey. You deserve it. All right, friends, keep it creepy, stay weird, and I will see you next time in the cesspool. Swoop!